Welcome to episode number 7 of Tough Table. I want to go through a brief introduction of the panel. We have a couple of new faces today with us. We have Marianela. She's one of my clients.
Hello.
Sophie. You guys all know Sophie. Leroy. And the SUF First Lady, Shauna, is here. She's off camera duty today.
Wow.
We have... Out here, we have on camera duty, we have Sam, okay? All right, so, you know about, obviously, me and Sophie, we've been on this thing enough already. So I want to start with some more detailed introductions with the new panel members. So real quick, we'll start with Marianela. We're going to focus on, what motivated you to become involved in fitness, and why did you choose Team SUF and Sci-Unison Fitness?
Well, what motivated me was my health and my girls. Went to the doctor and it wasn't pretty. So I decided one way or another I needed to stop playing games with my health, especially. Because I want to be around for my girls, my most important thing. Why Ryan? Just luck. I met him and his program made a lot of sense to me. From coming to counting calories and trying to decipher what a label means, and got along with his plan, and the only thing that I needed to know was 3 things: carbs, proteins, and fat. That to me was a deal breaker, and it's been since then.
And then you brought your daughter in. She joined the team.
I brought Katrina in when she decided to get into fitness. And I can only trust my daughter to few people. And I didn't trust her to Ryan because by then I knew him and I knew that he was serious about this. That he wasn't going to play games, that he wasn't going to mislead her, and he was going to be 100% there for her. Thank you.
All right, good. Moving on, Leroy.
Oh man. All right. Well, I decided to get into the business. When I was doing martial arts for a long time, and I wanted to get a little more power in my punches and kicks. And I also wanted to get a couple girls, so I decided to get into. Yeah, I didn't date until I was 25.
There we go. That would have been good for someone at this table.
Yeah, so I decided to get into fitness, and during working out, I started to bartend. So I wanted to look the part of a bartender, as well as someone who does the catering industry. So then from there, people would tell me that I should do a competition or I should get into fitness. So I decided to do it, and I was looking for a couple people. I know Ryan for I don't know how many years. So then
right after high school, I think, right?
Yeah, right after high school.
Yeah.
Or when you were in high school.
Probably senior year, yeah.
Yeah,
so it's
senior
01.
in high school.
It's 01, yeah.
No, I met you in 99.
Oh, so then I was in 10th grade then, 11th grade.
Are you guys the same
Oh my
age?
goodness.
No,
Who's older?
he is.
Okay.
I am.
Is it offensive?
Yeah.
That's alright, he's not the lady.
Okay.
Yeah. So I decided to. I asked him about buying a book. He wrote a book at the time. I asked him if I could buy his book because the person I was with was no good, and he said, "If I'm serious, just jump on." So I jumped on to Sci-Unison Fitness, and everything from there is just history.
Good. All right. Oh, Shauna.
Take it away.
Go ahead.
So I was in, college, and I wanted to lose some weight. I wasn't really happy with how I looked, and I lost about 25 pounds doing the whole clean eating, cardio thing. And then it just evolved one thing into another. I did a Tough Mudder type thing, and then it was okay, I needed another challenge, what's next? And that's when I got really into the weight training and the bodybuilding, and I wanted to do my first show. Why SUF? I had done a few shows, and you make those gym friends, you see them all the time, you have similar schedules. And this one girl, she reached out to me, and we started doing cardio together, and she was asking me about my experience with competing. We were kind of comparing notes, and I could see definitely that my experience was much different than hers, and in kind of a negative way, and that's what really solidified for me. I knew that my coach didn't have my best interest at heart, and it just wasn't, if I stayed, it wouldn't have been a good situation. So I figured, this is at least someone who's had a personal experience, like let me try it, and that's how I got involved with SUF.
And then we started dating, and now here we are.
Oh, that's good.
That's
you
good,
know
Leroy.
How many years have you been on the team? I should know this.
2.5.
Okay, all right.
When you joined at the end of
I remember
14.
my first email was New Year's Eve.
Yeah, so it's the end of 14.
Isn't it funny how you remember weird things?
Weird.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end of 14. Yeah. Well, what happened was we had dominated the Herc all those years, and then it was like, damn, is this going to be a rebuilding year, 2015? I was like, I have, I really didn't have a big roster, and I was like, damn, like, is this going to be more of a rebuilding year? And then New Year's Eve, it was like Shauna hit me up. Some girl, I don't want to mention her name, hit me up. She's a good competitor.
Yeah.
And Andrew hit me up all New Year's Eve. I was like, oh, looks like we're back
There you
in for
go.
the Herc. So that happened all out of really nowhere. So yeah, New Year's Eve. So that puts it at what? Yeah, basically.
Almost.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nice.
That's good. Yeah. You know what? One other thing about you was with the person that I was with beforehand was just like, oh yeah, we'll just go willy nilly, and then I was just doing
This was like
everything
a
off the
trainer
fly.
or like a friend?
It was a friend who was a trainer.
A cartoon.
Okay. Were you paying the person?
No.
Okay.
He was like, why don't we do a competition and then come check me out. He said, come check me out because he had a little fitness thing in his basement.
Oh, this is getting
Sounds
interesting.
awesome, Leroy.
That sounds like you.
No, it's nothing
Come
like
check out my
that.
fireplace.
I have a fireplace.
I know.
It's portable.
You told me.
But I needed structure. He had no structure, and then I
provide
everything-
structure.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I had no structure. He had no structure. You provided structure and everything I was needing. You took a lot of the stuff out of it, so I didn't really have to think. I followed.
The plan.
Yes, I followed the plan. So
All right, good.
it was good.
All right. So
The structure is something that's key.
yeah, key, definitely. All right, so now that you got to know our new guests, we are going to take this into our first main topic of the day. One of the most sought after formulas that everyone wants in the fitness industry is an effective fat loss strategy. All right, so the approaches to your weight training, your cardio, nutrition, supplementation individually, and then all this combined and the balance between them all collectively, will have an impact on one's success. So we really want to focus there for this main topic. So the main question becomes, does your current plan have you feel like you're just going in circles? All right, so there you have it. Me and Cody on the carousel. All right, so let's talk about this fat loss strategy. Effective fat loss strategy. Who's starting? Anyone got anything? I'll start.
Yeah,
Okay, you start. Go ahead.
You
Go
wanna
ahead.
start?
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't mind. You do have to find a decent balance between everything with the getting effective fat loss. I mean, I know they have high intense high intensity training.
Okay. Yes.
And they also have the SS cardio, which I
Which
found
that's
out
everyone's
that
go-to when they think of fat loss.
But
all that
with
cardio.
my go-to, I thought it was Super Saiyan training until I called Shauna. I was just like, well, what the hell is SS cardio?
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Well, why didn't you ask me? There it is. Okay.
You thought it was what?
Super Saiyan. And I was like, oh, Super Saiyan cardio, so I would go hard.
Super cardio.
Super Saiyan cardio.
Super cardio.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna go with number one. You need to have a healthy pace. That's the number one thing. And when you talk about the pace of weight loss, I think people need to realize that it comes in stages. If you're 50, 60, 70 pounds overweight, you can afford to have bigger chunks of loss initially.
Right.
But as you start to get leaner and leaner, that's got to stop. Everyone hones in on the 1 to 2 pounds a week thing, which is
Don't you think
blanket.
that's what we do? I'm just saying, when I talk to other people who aren't bodybuilders, they're like, oh, I have to lose 50 pounds. Don't you think that's kind of overwhelming to start with, like, that huge chunk of just knowing that you have to lose? I know I'm
You need to,
thinking off track a
you
little bit here, but-
need to have the long term, but also the short term as well. But in terms of like that healthy thing, like everyone
so they
goes.
should think of losing 1 to 2 pounds a week.
It depends on where you are. It depends on where you are, because the blanket approach is 1 to 2 pounds a week, but that's here. You know, that's where, you know, you be 20 pounds overweight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if you're 50, 60 pounds overweight, you know, it's maybe possible to lose for those first couple weeks 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds. You're so far out that, you know, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, but then also too, when you're close to a show, you know, if we're 2 weeks out and you drop 2 pounds, ideally through the blanket approach, 1 to 2, we're good. If you drop 2 pounds,
It's apparent.
fucking panic, you know. So you got to keep in mind like where you are in terms of your you know, your program and where you're going.
Well, with me, I did the big drop in the beginning. You know, I was doing the big drops and everything, and even going to my first competition, I had big drops with everything that was going on. But later on, throughout the course of the years, you know, I found that instead of doing the big drops, the small increase of drops throughout a decent course of time was a lot better for me. You know, not just mentally, but physically as well.
Yeah. Well, but for you didn't have too much to lose, so you fell into that what I call like, you know, 3 yards and a cloud of dust will always get a first down. So as long as you put these little things together, we'll be fine. Yeah. But if you're someone who's very overweight, not even talking about in terms of like a competitor, if you're very far out, we could take those bigger chunks. But then as we get closer, you have that experience. Like as we get closer to a show, if you drop a big amount, what do I usually do? I put a little more food in, because if you're that lean and you're that close, I don't want such big drops, because it's probably not working to your benefit. So you got to keep in mind like where you are at a given time.
I mean, my first competition, I had a huge drop because of the new job that I had taken.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Of
so
increase in activity,
drops. You know, I had huge drops. I had big gains, and then I had my weight fluctuated so much, high, low.
Yeah.
And I remember getting the emails from, you know, that's probably the reason why I asked Shauna instead.
Yeah, and I feel like it also depends, like, how drastic is this whole, like, implementing fitness into your life, too. Like, if you hadn't been part of any weight training, any healthy eating, and you made a change to more than one part of your life, that's going to be definitely different starting point.
And depending on where you are in that situation, I think people think that losing as much weight as fast as they can is the
best
way to do it. So, and that's not the best way to do it.
Yeah, no.
Especially
at the start.
Yeah.
You know, maybe. You know, but it becomes like, you know, it's a numbers game. Yeah. Everything's going to be numbers, and the big thing out there that everyone has to remember is, you know, 1 pound of body fat, 3,500 calories. Okay, so on average now,
so overwhelming.
Yeah, that on average now to lose 1 pound of fat in a week, you need to be at a caloric deficit at 500 calories per day on average. So it's like, again, when you're so far out, yes, you can afford those big drops and those big deficits. But when you're lean and you're getting ready for a show, if that's your path and you're competing, having such strong deficits that create such big drops is danger zone, because now you're so lean, the carbs are lower, you're susceptible to losing muscle. So those big drops are like I see those and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, well that's also another thing, especially if you go into a competition, you don't want to do that and then lose the muscle mass or anything that you have gained throughout the course of time, then losing the muscle mass, and you're like, oh man, you know, how can I get it back? Because they're not going to come back overnight. Yeah. You know, I mean, you could lose a couple pounds, but if you lose the muscle mass, then you kind of got a little bit of a problem.
Is that the same reason why somebody who's not bodybuilding, why you wouldn't want them to continue to lose that fast? Because then they're going to lose muscle, and the more muscle they keep not looking like Arnold muscle, but just normal muscle is going to burn.
We're talking at an accelerated pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to lose 5 pounds a week because it's going to become a stress, but you got to keep in mind who some of these people are. Right. We're talking about general population where they're, like I said, they're not stepping on stage. They are 60 pounds overweight and they're not competitive athletes. If that person loses 5 pounds that first week and they're following the food that I sent them, which I know I'm not starving people anyway, they lose 5 pounds, I'll take it. If they lose 4 pounds the next week, I'll take it. Yeah. We get to the point where it's like 5, 6, and we're still losing. Now I'm like, all right, now I can slow it down. But I'll take if I can
set that jump start.
Why don't they want to keep losing that fast?
No, they do want to.
They want to, but why shouldn't they?
Because then you're gonna set yourself up for failure.
Okay, right.
You're gonna set yourself up for failure. You're gonna, you're not going to, preserve muscle mass. If you're new to training, you're not gonna gain as much muscle mass. And again, at that point, if you're losing that fast, that means the deficit's very high, which means, it's all good now, it's all good now, it's all good now. And then once your body starts to fight, it increases the probability of a not having success, where it's going to swing back in the other direction. Small changes, I like three yards and a cloud of dust. North Babylon, smash mouth football.
Nothing to me.
Because I've never heard of that.
3 yards and a cloud of dust always gets a first down. You'll always get a first down. You always want a first down in football.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
At first you'll take the big plays. You'll take the big plays. But if you ground and pound, 3 yards, a cloud of dust, you'll always get your first down.
Yeah, but also with weight loss and gain and everything, everyone's like, oh, you got to eat clean, you got to eat clean, you got to eat chicken, you got to eat turkey, and I'm just like, you don't have to just eat chicken and turkey. You could. What about the vegetarians out there? What about all the stuff?
I mean, they're evil, but still.
Yeah, for real.
I'm still a part-time veg.
I used to be a vegetarian, and my mother is currently vegetarian.
If you were still a vegetarian, we would not be dating.
Yeah, I was a vegetarian for a long time, as well as a.
Well, her mom.
Wait, you're the only one at this table who's never been a vegetarian.
Her mom tries to get me to go to the vegan cafe with them.
It's good.
I refuse. No,
it's not bad.
Give it a chance.
Tofu is fat,
So I'm the only one. No,
who didn't lose their sanity? Yes.
I was also a hippie for a while too.
Oh, well, we will not touch on that subject.
But go back to what you were saying about
variety of foods,
but not even just fried foods. Just they're like chicken, turkey. But I'm sitting there. If you look at the numbers, if you go by the macro counts, whatever the numbers, you have a turkey burger. A turkey burger can be just as high in fat as a regular beef burger.
Yeah.
So
93% lean beef versus the 93.7 turkey. Yeah.
Or I've had 80% turkey burger with an 80% beef.
Exactly.
Burger, which is
that's why you have to
good.
You have to know you have to know how to count. You have to know how to count your macros. You have to know how to count the protein, track your progress.
Well, I feel like a lot of people get stuck into, I eat healthy. I eat foods that are good for me. I eat clean. Like, why am I not losing weight? And then it's like, well, if you track what you actually eat, it goes back to calories in versus calories out.
Accounting. It's all accounting.
You can't out-exercise a bad diet. Yes. I know that's cliche, but it's
true.
Absolutely true. You can be eating all the avocados and all the fruit salad and all the things that you think or appear to be healthy to the general population, and it's like, well, wow, I'm eating 3 times as much as I should.
When I get fat, it's not that I go out and eat fucking McDonald's.
Right.
I get fat because
we're overeating.
You can simply eat too many apples
I ate 9 avocados in a day.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Well, you're an extreme example.
That's
insane. That's
bad.
like when you eat the muffins and everything like that.
Muffins,
and it was
yogurt.
But that's bad. But that's bad food.
Yes.
When you think of an avocado, you think of a healthy food.
Yeah.
When you eat 9 in a day,
but I was just thinking about overeating.
It's
like first competition.
And like people are like, oh, I have to eat breakfast. Okay, they eat 5 eggs, like 2 pieces of bacon and bread. Like, okay, that could be upwards of 20 grams of fat. And then for lunch, like, oh, I'm going to have avocado on my salad because that's a superfood. That's good for me. Okay, add another 10, 15, depending how much you have on top of that.
And then there's nuts and fruit. And
nuts.
The nuts.
You have
salad dressing.
You have to measure the nuts because if you don't, you can just mindless eating. Like you're not paying attention. I have almonds in my desk that holds me over. Yeah. Right. Well, holding you over could be 300, 400, 500 calories extra. Yeah. And then for dinner, and then tonight, like I want dessert. Like
it just adds up.
You can overeat.
And then the same people are the ones who don't want to do the counting. But it's like you got to tell these people like you can't monitor and adjust something. Okay, that's not measured.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
How are you gonna make an adjustment? You don't fucking know what you're eating.
Eyeing stuff up. It's like it's good. It is kind of rough. But it's
you can do stuff like that when you're experienced and in the off season.
You should start with measuring
up
first.
to
Yes.
a
It's
point.
not, and you're not a hardo for measuring things. That's why it's not extreme to measure things.
Yeah, but
Right.
you gotta
You
know
should
what's.
do that,
but
and
you
then
have
you
to
can
know
know
what's in it.
Yes.
Or even
You know? I
just
mean, you can't
looking
buy
at
up
the
a burger.
nutrition label and
Yes.
saying, okay, this is a serving.
Yes.
You know, because that's
I do 4
it's a
servings.
reality check.
That's my one.
And it's like I've heard Ryan on the phone like, oh, okay, so like what's your diet like? And the person will say, oh, you know, I eat healthy, and he's like, I don't know what that means.
I put it to my throat.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that just goes back to what I said. Oh, I eat healthy. I'll eat a chicken and turkey. You know,
Yeah.
turkey bacon. People eat turkey bacon. That's higher in fat than like some other bacon.
Yeah.
Some of the
Right.
center cut,
Yeah.
like
You
the
know?
center
Yeah.
cut regular bacon.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
mean, it tastes very good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know.
A big thing also too is like prioritizing your food, your intake, like based
Right.
on your activity.
Yeah.
You know, eat according to what you're doing that day, the time
Yeah.
of day. You know, if you're sitting at the like, I have this problem, and
Yeah.
I have to make these adjustments because if you get caught into that whole idea of like, oh, I'm going to eat every 3 hours and I'm going to divide my macros by how many meals I want to have in a day, it's unbalanced.
Yeah.
Because if I'm sitting at my desk, okay, and I'm editing Tough Table and doing stuff like that, I'm not doing shit. Why would I stack my calories around that? Why do I need to eat every 3 hours when I'm sitting there doing shit?
Yeah.
As opposed to then it's like, then I'll go work out and then John comes over and we're doing shit. That's where the food should be like stacked. So it's like accounting and also like common sense. Like eat, at the end of the day, you need to get those macros in. But when you look at stuff, you should really prioritize where you're putting the food based on your activity.
Yeah.
I don't have, if I'm sitting at my desk, I have to be, oh, it's 3 hours, I should eat when I'm not hungry. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like you could
that's
spread
right.
that out. Then I go to the gym. John's here. We're working on stuff. I'm running all over the place. Now I'm like, damn, I'm hungry. I'd rather eat every 2 hours then when I'm doing shit, as opposed to eating every 3 hours when I'm not doing anything and I'm not hungry.
But now his two things. You know, for me, one thing that started to play an account was the way my body was changing over the course of time because you know you get a little older, your body changes, everything different. Last year when I was
How old are
eating-
you?
I'm 37.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
37. You know.
Okay. So go ahead.
You
It's
know?
not real
But-
old.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Well, what I'm saying is,
Body's changing.
the way
Menopause.
I had,
Go ahead.
the way I had. I mean, some of the things that I was doing last year didn't really work, or 2 years ago didn't really work for me. This year, you know, like somebody eating the Pop-Tarts. You know, I tried to eat the Pop-Tarts, whatever.
When?
But a couple of years ago, I
I mean,
started
when were
doing
you eating the Pop-Tarts?
Oh, during okay, I'm sorry.
For your post-workout?
That would be doing no, I would do it for a
Pre-workout.
pre-workout.
Okay, right.
Do a pre-workout, you know, competition, everything like that. And it was changing everything like a couple years later. Because 2 years ago I was able to do it, helped out, did it great and all the other good stuff. This year when I did it, you know, I'm just like, you know, I'm not seeing the kind of changes, you know, let me start cutting stuff out. I was like, you know, let me cut out the Pop-Tarts. And then when I started cutting out the Pop-Tarts,
Magically.
you know, it was because the way the amount of carbs and everything, the sugars that it had, and I had the same Pop-Tarts all the time
Yeah.
the past couple of years. You know, once I cut them out, that's when like the body started changing a lot. The weight started going down. The conditioning was changing.
Yeah.
Everything started going according
Well,
to
as you
plan.
get closer, you should cut out that stuff.
You know,
Like
I'm talking
I know
about
everyone
foods-
wants to say a calorie is a calorie, but
No,
like
it was far out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everything I was prepped, like, you remember, I was prepped to do 2 competitions, but then I had to, like, drop back and then just do the 1.
Yeah.
And when I was doing that, that was quite a few weeks out. And I was like, you know, let me cut out the Pop-Tarts. That's when a lot of the stuff started changing. And then, you know, like, when I was going to you were just like, you know what, I see a lot of this stuff. I mean, you know, well, I guess, you know, now that I cut out the Pop-Tarts, but you know, no, uh-oh. No, but, you know, what I'm saying is, like, you know, my body was changing and everything started doing, you know, according to account with looking at the carbs and seeing what happens and how everything starts to affect your body.
Yeah.
You know, age, what I see, age is definitely affecting a lot of stuff, you know, with me. Plus, with the jobs, you know, the job that I do, a job anyone does, I mean, sometimes I had to eat some of my food, half of my food to get the numbers or make the numbers, probably like mid shift, and then eat the rest of it later on in the day because I never had time in between to stop, go pick anything up. All I could do is just drink water or bring something with me. You know, I mean, I'd be running around all day. You know, I don't have time to stop and actually eat.
Yeah. All right. You know, another big thing too is I feel like you know, you don't want to do too much too fast when you start. You don't want to overdo cardio. Cut the food too low. Take all the supplements at maximum dose, because then you have no clue what's working.
Right. And then, like, I know how you start. It's the weight training first, right?
Yeah.
And then you introduce the nutrition.
Yeah, well, that's with normal people. With macro-based people, I get it all at first.
Okay.
Yeah.
But normal people should should count macros as opposed to just counting calories.
Yeah, I'm
right?
trying. Yes. And I'm trying to get rid of this old school meal plan shit, and that's part of the thing with Aries.
Do that?
Aries is gonna help with that.
Okay.
It's gonna make it dummy proof, and it's gonna help me out.
One of the old school meal plans was with the person I was talking to before. Like, oh, you gotta eat tilapia. And you're just like, I'm like,
I mean, you can, but you don't have to.
yeah, but
You know?
that was like an everyday meal. I was like, I'm a pretty boring person sometimes, but. Yeah, I mean, like, if I get something
I
like
boring,
Leroy. Oh, thank you, thank you very much.
And then I feel like making any lifestyle change can be very overwhelming,
Yes.
and it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of thought, planning, effort. So with those changes, it's like, okay, like, let me just try getting to the gym. And, it's like that could, like, totally derail you having to schedule that in.
Yeah.
And then once you find out, okay, like, I feel good. I'm looking a little bit better. Like, what's next? Maybe I should change what I'm eating. And then it kind of,
So
take
don't
on
do all of those things
at
all
once.
at the same time.
Yes.
Because then you're going to be miserable,
Yep.
overwhelmed.
And you're gonna stop.
Yeah.
And then go binge.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
start with working
man.
out.
Yeah.
Cardiovascular exercise. All right. There's a lot of things out there.
Yeah.
All right, cardio. We got steady state cardio.
Super.
We got the high intensity cardio, and we have like that conditioning style routines.
Yeah.
I feel like all of these should have a
Place.
If you're 60, 70 pounds overweight, like some of the high intensity stuff and the conditioning stuff may not be safe or healthy.
It's going to kill you.
Yes, okay. So you start with the steady state, but as you start to lose weight and you get used to the
You're
gym
more
and
in
everything,
shape.
yes, you're more in shape.
Yeah.
It gives a diverse thing, because the steady state cardio has its place. The high intensity cardio is going to get your heart rate higher. It's going to do other things. It's going to have a different
So it
effect.
doesn't matter what you like more. You have to do all of those
Yes.
things.
Yeah.
And then
It's good
the
balance.
conditioning is great too, because you're doing cardio, you're burning calories, you're increased heart rate, and you're using muscle.
I
Yes.
like that.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
great after that.
Yeah,
Conditioning
you're doing stuff. You're using muscle as opposed to doing high intensity cardio on the treadmill, doing interval style.
But you
When
can
you're
do
doing the
low
conditioning, you're doing the burpees, you're doing some of the stuff, some of the great videos that here's another plug that Liz and Heather have out there. When you're doing that stuff, you're using muscle. Okay, so that I like to have a blend of really all this stuff.
I
And you don't want to do too much either. You don't start high. Don't start high, because again, then you don't know really what's working. Start low and build up. From there.
Well, they said that
Incremental increases.
low intensity stuff, and then
No, not even talking. I'm
fat,
talking about in
you
terms
do
of the
that, or-
volume.
Oh, okay. The
You
volume,
start low, and as the program goes, you make incremental. So this way, your body has a chance with that. If you don't do any cardio and you're overweight, and it's like, I'm gonna do 60 minutes of steady state. 2 days later, I'm gonna do this whole conditioning routine with stuff that Drake is doing. And you're not built for it. You're in trouble.
Well, don't you think part of the problem too is that people think that if they don't feel like
They're
completely
dying.
dead when they're done, that it's not doing anything?
That drives me nuts
Yeah.
with the weight
That's
training
another
too.
way that
With
you
the
can
weight
set
training
yourself
too.
up
It's
for
like,
failures feel like you're dying. You
Well,
need to
that's-
feel dead by the time
No,
you're done.
yeah.
That's what I used to do before I got into the whole bodybuilding thing. It was like, if I'm not beat red and drenched, I didn't have a good workout, and I was pissed.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, I'm seeing changes. I'm physically shrinking, but I still look the same. I'm the same shape.
Yeah.
I'm just smaller, and that's not, what some people want. Maybe some people do want that,
Yeah.
but for a bodybuilding goal, that's obviously not what you want. And then also, it's you get burnt out.
Yeah.
You can't do that forever.
You
Not
just
sustainable.
Your body gets
it's
used
not.
to it, I
Yes,
think,
it's not sustainable. And cardio is all about creating the deficit.
Right.
You just need to create the deficit to lose the body fat. Okay. On top of that, it increases your endurance, which is going to carry over to any type of athletics. It's going to carry over to your weight training too. If you're
Carries over everywhere.
yeah, if you're
part.
yes,
Every
if you're
part-
if you're
every part of
more
your lifestyle.
yeah, if you have more endurance with the cardio, it's going to help with the weight training. It lowers blood pressure, increases metabolism, and it helps, when you get older, it helps prevent heart disease.
Right.
So it's cardio needs to be there. Diversified cardio needs to be there.
Yeah, it's always good to try to change it up also, because some people are just like, oh, I get bored with it. It's like, all right, so change it up, do something different. Your body also gets used to everything as well. So then when you change things up, you know, what do they say? Shock it or whatever?
Oh,
Jesus. I don't know.
It makes me want to shock my eyes.
Yeah.
But
like,
cardio is boring. I mean,
is.
I think you have to go into it knowing that, and you have
Well,
to be
all
prepared.
you need for
to
cardio
run
is a tablet with internet, and you watch Tough Table while you're doing your cardio.
Which
Yeah.
is
Well-
what I have.
When I repost the Tough Table thing, it goes, "Here's your cardio video."
There you go.
But I mean, you have to also find like what you like. Like I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I need to do incline walk like forever," and it's like, well, why don't you try out the stairs, the elliptical, whatever makes your body feel good and you can get it done and burn the calories.
Some kind of resistance. I mean, if you're also just like. Well, I like to use the elliptical because it's easier on my knees, because I used to do a lot of stuff where it was high impact, so it's like do a lot of
pounding.
A lot of pounding on your knees. So I use the elliptical, where no one says it's running, but I think it is. But it's allegedly gliding, But I mean, I like to glide my way to a lower, lower body fat.
Well, and I think what's key with the steady state too is not just saying I'm going to go do 30 minutes of cardio, that I'm going to go burn 300 calories.
Right.
Because
That's
those 30 minutes
yes.
is a huge, I used to just coast through my cardio until I started working with you.
I want the calorie number.
Yes, and that honestly makes a huge difference. It sucks.
That's why you change the resistance.
Because what happens is, as you start to get leaner and you're more conditioned, it takes longer to
something
burn
that
those
I
calories.
took into account before.
It's like your 30 minutes when you're 50 pounds overweight versus your 30 minutes when you're a lean, mean machine. You did shit.
Yeah.
Right. So when I had
met, was give yourself an appetizer.
Yes.
Right. So when I was talking to the girl who introduced me to SUF, I was like, she's like, how much cardio do you have? And I was like, like 45 minutes. And she was like, I have 200 calories. And I was like, and I thought about that and I was like, shit.
Yes.
Wow. That.
Because you can do 30 minutes and not burn 200 calories.
Right. If you, it's totally different. Also, if you're just walking, gliding through your cardio, or are you, are you putting in the effort? It's totally it's different. That's why lately I've been okay, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm gonna get on the stairs and run on them, get it done and over with.
And another thing is too, please do not do fucking fasted cardio.
I used to have to do that.
No, well, I don't want to hear it.
It was for my training though.
Training on an empty stomach means that you're gonna go in with a reduced intensity level, which is gonna hinder your performance, and it's gonna eventually hinder your fat loss.
Well, it was for the
and it can have a catabolic effect.
But people do it because
people
they think that they're burning, that your body's gonna take your fat first for fuel.
I was doing it like my life depended on it. I met Ryan. I was like, wow, that's not happening anymore. I'm going to get so fat. And then I stopped doing it because he said,
and you didn't get so fat.
No, I didn't.
So that's the thing. If you go, you don't have to go in with a large amount of food, but if you go in with a little bit of food, you're gonna perform better, especially with conditioning style workouts, high intensity stuff. That's going to make you perform better. You'll get a better workout, which is going to lead to better fat loss, which is going to lead to an elevated metabolism for longer afterwards instead of dragging ass through it.
And once you can wrap your head around that food isn't the devil and food helps you. I remember I used to always be okay, I'll take my pictures right when I wake up, but then I'll also take them after fasted cardio just in case I look a little bit leaner. But now it's wait, I'm going to eat my first meal, drink some water, walk around, get things moving, and then take a picture. And then after training, and it's oh wow, my body is absorbing this and using this, and I look really good with food in me, not starving.
Food and water.
That makes a difference too.
Food and water.
Pictures.
And then moving on from cardio, you have regular weight training, which, weight training is it's complicated. There's a lot of different styles. There's a lot of different methods, but when it comes to fat loss, the main thing I want to stress is the people who all of a sudden they want to lose weight and it's low weight, high reps. That's the way to go. That's not the way to go. That's not the way to go. Yes, you may lose a little weight because there's a little more activity, but if you lifted heavy and intense and you had a good balanced approach to build that muscle, to keep that muscle, you better keep that same fucking style. Because what happens is now, let's say you're lifting heavy, you have a good balance program, like the programs that I provide. You have a good balance program, okay? You balance out the
Hey,
there we go. You balance out the volume, you balance out the intensity, you balance out the powers. Everything's balanced, and that's your physique. It's based on that. Let's say now we introduce a competition style diet or any diet.
that you provide.
You have a calorie deficit with eating. That's how you lose weight. You add the cardio, which could be catabolic, and now all the tools that you use to build this physique and to build that muscle, you abandon all those principles, and now you lift lightweight for high reps. You have given your body multiple reasons to kiss that hard-earned muscle goodbye.
Yeah, well,
when you're talking
it's
high
like
reps, you're talking
bodybuilding.
about like 12 or 20?
I'm talking-
What's high to you?
For me, it depends. It really depends on the person. But like,
Okay.
if the people who are just like, all of a sudden everything's 12 to 15 reps, 15, 8. I throw that stuff
I
in.
love 12 reps.
See,
Well,
that's,
10 to 12. Well,
Okay.
10 to 12.
Alright, okay.
But again, like my programs you'll still have powers. You'll have
Yes,
but
yeah.
there are people who will just go, oh, all of a sudden everything's 15, 18 reps. There are coaches out there
Yeah.
who will just do that.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's
but
like,
that's part of like the high intensity stuff. What they do a little bit lesser.
no.
weight.
I'm talking about they changed all the fundamental principles of what built their physique, and they just abandoned all the heavy lifting. They abandoned the intensity, and it's just low weight, high reps to lose weight.
Well, you
Like
do-
that is
you
not the way to go.
You definitely need volume, especially if you're going to competition. Even if you're not, I would definitely say just go with also just incorporating volume
Yeah.
with anything that you do, so you could keep the same size at least. With everything you do.
You need diversity.
Or, yes.
You can't just abandon all those core principles and switch over to something that's crap.
Yes.
You can't. You'll lose everything.
I had never seen like power before you either. I saw 3 to 5 reps on my chart, and I was like, what? Like, wait.
Yeah, you need
You know,
that
and then
stuff.
that's when it's like, okay, sloth rest periods, like, and I'm like, well, then, and also, I think it's so, like, important too. I was talking to Sophie before, it's like, after the exercise and the reps, it's like to failure. It's like you should really be trying. Like, the
Yes.
intensity and the effort that you put into those 3 to 5 reps is supposed to be,
Yeah. Or else 3 to 5 reps and you're not doing shit. It's pointless.
yeah, you
Yeah.
might as well be
You
sitting
can
on the
do 3 to 5
couch,
reps
3 to
of-
5 reps of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have a 3 to 5 reps of this when
Oh.
it gets full.
Cut off.
Perfect.
Does that mean you want?
Perfect. All right, so I feel like we did pretty well there. Anything we want to add? We're good. You got anything? We're good.
You wanna? I don't know.
Diversify your foods.
Yes.
Diversify your training.
Mm-hmm.
With
Diversify your cardio.
And diversify your weightlifting.
Yeah. Diversity. We are
Yes.
There we go.
We're all part of that. Yes.
Diversity, volume,
Research.
Everything.
HIT. What is that? High intensity
High
training.
intensity
Yeah.
interval
Yeah.
training. How
Yes,
much
high
less do
intensity.
you want?
Yeah. Oh, you could just top it off.
All right, so we'll go with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It became popular in the 70s.
Wow.
What
Moving on. Okay.
Seriously, how much
That's
less
good.
do you want? Okay. Well, you
That's
said
like-
top it off. I don't know what that.
I forgot. I didn't even know you were pouring it. I forgot.
Wow.
Aye.
Okay, here we go. So we are finished with topic 1, and I want to introduce one of our new segments that we're adding to Tough Table. This is the Ebby Jean Glam Guide. So we're going to take it away with Liz.
Hi guys, it's Liz and welcome to my new segment, Ebby Jean's Glam Guide. I'm going to give you some tips and beauty pointers on how to do really great makeup in no time at all, on a budget. So today we're going to do contouring, and it's going to be simple, quick, and I'm going to introduce an inexpensive brand that you can use.
I'm using NYX Liquid Contouring Sticks. First, we're going to use the lightest color and place it on your face where natural light would hit the skin. That's underneath your eyes, across the bridge of your nose, along the top of your eyebrows, lining your jawline underneath the cheeks. Also going to place it in the middle of your chin, above your lip, and on the corners of your temples. Then you're going to take the darker color and place it in the hollows of your cheeks, underneath the jawline, on the sides of the bridge of your nose, and an arch across the top of your forehead. And then we're going to blend. I'm using a flat-ended foundation brush. You can also use a blending sponge. First, you start with the darker color, starting at your jaw, blending downwards. Then blend the sides of your nose. Blend your cheeks in an upward motion. And then you're going to do your forehead in an upward motion. Then you can go ahead and start blending in the lighter color. Make sure to blend very nicely so you don't see a distinction between the darker and the lighter colors. Underneath your eyes, make sure you go upwards and you can get a nice distinction and crease between your face and your eyeshadow. And then just keep blending in. Now I'm using a translucent setting powder from Physicians Formula. I'm going to go ahead and brush that across your face so you can set the foundation and the highlighter contouring liquid in place. And then finish off with blush. I'm using NYX Ombre. You're going to place this on your face where sun would hit you, on your cheeks, the middle of your forehead, the tip of your nose, and the tip of your chin. And there we go. All done. Simple, easy contouring.
I hope you're feeling beautiful now. Okay, but now on to our next segment, which is Tough Table Trivia. Okay, first question. Tough Table Trivia. Got to get my community cam ready to go here. Community camera. First question. The NutraBio supplement Reload was formerly known as what? A, Recovery Matrix, B, Post, C, Infusion, or D, Rapid Recovery? Write them nice and big on the boards, nice and big. Here we go. A, B, C, or D? And we ready? Hurry up. Waiting on you, Leroy. Nice and big. I want to see it. Nice and big.
Shauna's board matches her shirt.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, I had that.
Here we go. And Leroy, you're up. D. Sophie has A. Marianela has D.
feel like
I want. Okay. And Shauna has
I
B.
feel like Shauna
The
Koehler.
answer is B. Post. Okay. So Shauna gets the point there. And next question. SUF EPC, the Elite Posing Clinic, okay, was started in which year? A, 2013, B, 2014, C, 2015, or D, 2016? Are we ready?
I wonder why.
Ready? Here we
I
go.
remember this.
And what do you got? C. Nice glasses. And C. And the answer is C, 2015.
Right.
So everybody gets a point. Boom,
goodness.
boom,
I was
boom.
thinking D.
So you should have put D.
I was there for the naming of it.
Okay. Here we go. Good question here. Which Initium sunglasses am I currently wearing? A, the London Callings. B, the Cocktails. C, the All-Ins. Or D, Revelations. Initium, these sunglasses right here, custom made for me and Tough Table.
Because you're so special.
Sometimes I am.
I think someone may have a easy
I was gonna
answer.
say, Shauna's gonna get all these answers.
No, she doesn't. She's not really in on that lingo.
No.
Oh,
She's not.
oh,
I only have one pair. I don't even know what.
not
pair
tough.
they
Ooh,
are.
yeah, not,
Not
tough.
tough, Shauna.
Where is it?
Bam, not tough.
Sorry.
All right, here we go. A, B, C, or D. And we have D for Leroy, C for Sophie. We have D for Marianela, and D for Shauna. The answer is D, the Revelation. So
Yes.
everyone except for
Only
Sophie.
Well, when you were like listing off all the names yesterday, all I could remember was the all-ins.
Well, those are the blue ones.
The
The
only
blue
reason
ones?
I
The
know
ones that
that.
I wore?
Yes.
Maybe that's why I know.
Those are those are the all-ins.
I
Okay.
only thought of Revelation because I'm just like,
Well,
Revelation.
Yeah. There you go.
Here we go. This is a calorie question. These are the good ones. I like these ones.
Oh.
Okay, calorie question. Which of the following choices has the most amount of total calories? A Snickerdoodle complete cookie. B, chocolate chip cookie dough Quest bar. C, 1 pint of Halo Top, the Halo Top birthday cake flavored ice cream, or D, 1 slice of pizza? I gotta make sure I'm okay with this answer too.
Don't copy my answer, Shauna.
Are we ready?
I don't know.
Here we go. Leroy has, I can't see, D.
I have D.
Sophie has, D. C and C, and the answer is A.
That was my second answer.
A snickerdoodle complete cookie, right? Is that
Always go with the snickerdoodle. The one time I
Yep.
don't.
The answer is A. Okay. So what happens is now all of the trivia questions today, okay, are sponsored by NutriBio, and the winner of the Tough Table Trivia, which will be 2 segments. We're doing 2 segments today. We did 4 questions now. We'll do 4 questions later. The winner, in terms of your points tally, will get this watermelon flavored Pre and a beautiful Tough Table t-shirt made by Vinyl You Up. Okay. So, what do we got
You're
next?
tied with Marianela.
Yeah, we have
I'm losing.
Shauna's in the lead right
Shauna's
now.
in the lead. I don't
I
care about
wonder
a tie.
why.
Oh,
Yes.
stop it.
Stop it. I knew this was going to happen. I said, I was like, I probably shouldn't play because if I do, by any chance, win, people are like, it's rigged. That's your girlfriend.
And if she wins, I'm just going to take the supplements anyway.
It's just because you're super smart.
Not
That's
tough.
why.
All right, moving on. Next segment. Okay, we have a new segment that we are bringing into Tough Table now. It is called Not NB, Then It's Not For Me. And it's done by yours truly. So, here we go. Welcome, everyone. This is the first installment to a new series called Not NB, Not For Me. Today, I'm going to go into proprietary blends, all right? First, we need an example of a proprietary blend. I went shopping online and found this newest supplement. Seems to be a craze out there on the interwebs. Johnny MMA Jack Juice, all right? So it's got a close-up here of the label. All right, there we go. Now, a proprietary blend would be right here, where they're going to list some weird type of name. In this case, it's the David Blegic Barma Warrior Princess Performance Blend. And it's going to list, right here, it's going to list the gram amount. And then from there, it's just going to list a whole bunch of ingredients underneath. And you basically do not know how much of each of those ingredients is in this blend. So this is what you want to avoid, because what they do is they just stack a whole bunch of fillers in there, a whole bunch of stuff, and you really have no idea how much of the active ingredients you're getting. So this is something we want to stay away from, all right? So this right here, not tough. Let's go to NutriBio now, okay? We're going to take Pre for an example. If you look at this label here, the font's a little, there we go. Got a nice view there. This label, okay, they'll call things like athletic endurance and performance complex. Okay, so they give it a name, but what they're doing is underneath that, you'll actually see line by line the exact gram and milligram of every single ingredient in this supplement. So this is a non-proprietary blend. This is going to be a full disclosure label, and it's going to tell you everything you need to know. If you want to know how much caffeine you're getting, it's listed here. It's not jumbled into some proprietary blend, some special secret formula matrix. Everything is listed here. Okay, so this right here, NutriBio supplements, non-proprietary blends, those are tough. Something like this is garbage. Don't take it. Don't use it. Don't believe the forums. Don't believe all the hype out there. Stick to non-proprietary blends. Jade, say non-proprietary blend. Yeah? Okay. All right. I hope that video was informative. And we're going to move on now to my favorite segment. We're going to do questions from the audience.
Hello, people! This is your bleaching talking. Ask me a question.
All right, first question. First question comes from the one and only Liz Myers. She wants to know, this is a question for the panel, all of us. She wants to know, what are your day jobs, and has getting into fitness helped you in your job or changed the way you feel about what you do every day? Leroy, you're up.
Okay, my day job is being a city cop. I absolutely incorporated this in general, especially from when I first became a cop. I was doing my first competition as well, so it helped me do the cardiovascular stuff, all the actions or anything I needed to do in the gym, as well as anything else that I need to do physically. Any physical requirements for the job. It absolutely helped me also on my day-to-day basis because it helped me with the stamina as well as staying awake. Because I'm kind of like lethargic sometimes.
All right.
But it's good. It's nice incorporation with my job as well as anything else during.
So it kind of fits
the
in.
day. Yes.
All right, good. Sophie.
I am a teacher at a private school. I'm also that school's strength coach, and I'm a personal trainer. So obviously the fitness lines up with the personal training and the strength coach. I think it kind of gives me a little bit more sometimes validity with the boys that are in the weight room who think that they still think they know everything, but the students, especially the girls, I like this, they think it's cool and they want to know more about it. And I think that if I had been able to have somebody to look at, like a woman who worked out like that when I was in high school, I might have gotten
A good influence.
Yeah, a good influence.
I wanted one.
Yeah. And not only that, I think when I started bodybuilding, it just happened to be at a perfect point in my life where I just really needed a boost with self-esteem, and that just helped me with everything, especially being at work. Just felt, it just gave me a better sense of who I was and made me feel better about myself, which makes me do a better job. So.
All right, good. For me, obviously being into fitness helps being a trainer and a coach. That's, but beyond the obvious, in terms of being a business owner and trying to, make critical adjustments and innovations and all the projects that everyone knows that I'm into to keep myself going. The fitness aspect helps there. Let's take me out of the fitness realm and just put me as a business owner. Being fit, when I am leaner and I'm not carrying so much body weight and body fat, I'm definitely more efficient. I can get more done. I can stay up those later nights and really finish these projects. And the main thing is you definitely have more energy. So as a business owner, efficiency, energy levels, I feel better. If you feel better about how you look and you feel better about yourself, you project that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that helps out. So.
And it probably also helps. It also serves as a real break because you work. I know people are I work from home. Or if I worked from home, it would be so great. But it's you're surrounded by that all day, 24 hours a day. So it's a good separation, a break.
It's funny you say that too because I was getting sick of working in the gym until I started doing bodybuilding, and then it kind of helped me with that being in that environment.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So it just gave me a whole new perspective.
It just makes me look good in my uniform.
There we go.
That's applause.
What we got here?
My day job. I'm an office manager. I'm in an animal hospital. My 24/7 is a mother of three. So in my office, I sit all day. If I don't go to the gym, if I don't take care of myself, I don't move. So I need to do something else in order to be active, to be alert. When I get home, I have 3 girls waiting for me. Just is a roller coaster. The one that pays the bills keeps me sitting down. The ones that keeps my life going, I need a lot of energy. And if I don't take care of myself, if I don't eat right, if I don't go to the gym, I'm just a completely waste. I just go home and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't do anything because the less that I do, the less energy that I have, and the worse that I feel about myself.
Yeah.
This helps, being at the gym, taking care of myself, watching what I eat, and it's changed my life completely.
Good. There we go.
So I also work in an office. So now I'm in a cubicle, which is a very small space. And the office that I was working in previously was a bigger open area. I was doing a lot more walking around the office. And Before that, I didn't realize like how much freedom you have when you're not sitting at a desk. And so when I went to the job that I'm currently at, my body like hurt. It was like totally just fighting sitting in that chair. Like I was having like my legs were like throbbing. It was just, I didn't realize how much like this like people do this for like 30, 40 years. Like that is like not good for you. And then also when we got the Fitbits, I realized for some reason in my head I thought it was like 3,000 steps was like the goal, and it's like crap, I'm supposed to have like 10,000 plus.
Yep.
And so I was talking to Taylor on the team, and I was like, oh my god, like I can't believe like how sedentary I am. Like this is appalling. Like this is not like healthy. So fitness helps me like realize how important it is to be active and keep moving, and not only for aesthetics but just to like feel like function and feel good. Yeah. So it's like I value that time.
Our lives are set up to not have fitness or be fit or eat the right way, or any of those things included in it. So like just the Fitbit, all of a sudden it's like yelling at you, and you're realizing, it's like I haven't been active. Really?
I have the buzzer, so it's every hour it tells me like you need to move, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the far bathroom and walk around upstairs and come back.
Moving around, and also too like even standing, like since Janice has been upgraded, like I take now 1 to 2 hours a day to come in here to stand and do work. I'm not as efficient as I am on the Monster, but still like it feels good to come in here and stand and actually do.
You should do that for you, not just be always efficient at your job.
Yeah, I need to do. Yes, I know. So it helps out. So you got to keep moving. And it definitely helps out with everybody. I'd hope everybody's everyday life.
Yeah, it helps out. Like you said, it helps out after you leave your job, because you want to go out and like do stuff. Gives you energy throughout the course of the day. Keeps yourself not only fit and gives you energy, but you could maybe I shouldn't say, but you could do a lot of other stuff afterwards. Just to,
I don't know where he's leading.
Moving on. The next question. Question number 2. Okay.
Moving on.
This question is through Instagram. Okay, and Cody Wyer. I think I've heard of the guy. Cody.
He's got a show coming up, Wyer.
Yeah, Cody Wyer. This is for Shauna. Does your eating off season vary much from prep, or do you typically eat year round based on achieving specific goals? Meaning, how loose do you allow yourself diet wise in the off season?
Well, first of all, Cody, thank you for asking that question. Hi, I'm me. Okay. So, I mean, I feel like I eat pretty healthy, you know, like the same foods that I would eat when I'm in season, just I'm not meticulously weighing. I'm more eyeballing. I'm a little bit looser. Like we'll go out to eat maybe once or twice, like extra than I would when I'm in season. But, I mean, like for instance, if we're visiting friends, like I'll go out and we'll eat and I won't get stressed over it. But definitely portion sizes change. Variety is a little bit different. Not that we can't have variety when we're in season, but it's just easier for me to stick to like 4 or 5 different vegetables that I know work for me, and it's just variety and volume. Yeah.
You keep a nice balance, so you don't have to like feel. I'm not going to say feel left out, but
Yeah, I mean, I still want to feel good about myself and be able to enjoy social activities or just the stress of being so meticulous.
Yes.
All right, good. This is a question from Big Mike. I like Mike.
Yeah.
Mike has another question for Shauna.
Tough.
Shauna, tough.
They're famous. This is why we needed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
He wants to know, how many times per week do you have to settle him?
Not
meaning
tough.
Not tough.
Sorry.
Jury votes.
What did he do? He dropped his pen?
He dropped it.
Oh, okay. Mike wants to know, how many times per week do you have to settle him, meaning me, down or make him stop working? Shauna, take it away.
Does he seem like a high-strung individual? No. Does he like always moving? No. Well, I mean, I kind of learned that there is no settling down. There is no stopping the work. So the correct way to handle that is, do you need more espresso? Did the dogs eat yet? Are you hungry? How can I help? If he has an idea, he's going to pursue it, and he's not going to stop until he has 1 or 3 different solutions that could be
It
options.
would
So
probably be worse to try to make him stop.
You can't.
what would I do? Like have a
can't.
tantrum
Strap
on the
him down.
floor?
If I stop, I'm not there mentally anyway.
I've known him for a long time. He's once it's in motion, like a juggernaut. Keep on.
I won't stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I try my best.
You do make
Yes, I try my best to balance time. Sometimes I am guilty of getting too caught up in projects. There are times where I lose track of the days. I 6 hours can go by and I'm like, wait, it's that time o'clock right now? Like, I don't even know where I am. But I always want things to work. I want things to work. If something's wrong, I want the solution or else it's going to plague me.
Very committed.
Yes, I want to excel. I want to be able to provide for those who are close to me, both like personal or like I like you guys. Like I want to be able to give you stuff like this. I want to be able to bring you guys to your best. And for me, I want to excel. I want to succeed. And when all's said and done, like I want to be remembered.
You don't know how to stop.
Yeah, I
As
don't.
long as you get something in your mind, it's no way.
You know, I will obsess
it's
until.
like, we have to find a solution. We have to find an answer. We have to do this.
I was talking to Marianela today, and I'm like, oh, poor Marianela. How many times a week did you train her? Oh, 4. Oh.
I don't know if anybody knows that he was a teacher.
You're still bugging her?
He was a teacher, so you got to have the answer for the questions that were proposed. Proposed to you. So
But it's always interesting to work out with Ryan. Always.
Yeah, when I come in with my issues,
It's
so
always-
it's hard to stop me, but I try, for her sake, to try to stop and like give her some time and like take myself out of the project, and I try my best. It's hard. It's very difficult for me. Like you've known me the longest of anyone at this table. Like
time.
when it's there's no stopping it, and
I've known it before Sacco's here. 01.
So.
You were before the VP?
No,
Yes.
they know each other.
No, I know
Sacco
the longer. Yeah, I know
01
Sacco
is
the longest.
that's like an inside. Sacco knows it. That was his year, 01.
Yeah, 01. That's all we hear about is 01. But I do my best, right?
Yeah, we eat dinner together every night.
Yeah.
We spend time together at night, because I work during the day. So we spend time together every day.
I do my best.
She also fights crime at night, too.
There you go. Next question from Twitter. Jessica Gonzalez, Team SUF. This is for you, Marianela. She wants to know, as a mother, what was it like to watch your daughter step on stage and compete?
Oh, very proud moment. Proud of all my children. But to see Katrina on the stage and to see everything that she did came out to that moment. And not only that, looking at her and then just thinking the year before she was in and out of doctors, not knowing what it was, sick, and just not in control of her life. And the stage, she was in control of everything. She was just amazing. It was a great moment. And knowing that I helped a little bit when I introduced her to Ryan, because like I said, I trust him very much. Otherwise, I would have never bring my daughter around him. My prized possession. But he was wonderful with her. He helped her all the way around, but she did it on her own. It was her. It was 100% her. Nobody did it for her. I didn't import it for her. I didn't wrap her around in a Christmas present. She did it all by herself. And she was amazing. She was just amazing. Always proud of my children. But that day, I was especially proud of her. I lost my voice. I couldn't even talk the next day.
Yeah, it was good. Yes, it was good.
We had to ask people next to me, could you please scream for her because I can't talk anymore.
I remember I met her at the first EPC.
Yeah.
And from then until when I started posing with her, I guess a year later, she was totally different. Not even like composition wise, but just like as a person. I feel like she was much more outgoing. She had come back from California. It was great to see somebody change so much for themselves because they wanted to.
I'm going to take another spin on this now. So we know you're proud of Kat and respect the work that she put in. But were there any people who took the negative spin to this with you? Like with her being in a physique competition, she's up there in a bathing suit. Did anyone in your inner circle, you don't have to name anyone, but did anyone in your inner circle or anyone close to you frown upon the fact that your daughter's up there, in a bikini being judged?
No, Not in my case, because maybe behind me, my back, maybe to some friends, but not to me. Everybody knows me. If you say something negative, I'm gonna strangle you.
Where is it?
Right there. Yeah. My children, no, you can't.
Oh,
it was
man.
Sometimes it was like, oh, do you think she's really gonna do it? I'm like, yes, because where Katrina wants, Katrina gets.
Yeah.
So
Good.
that's it. And
Alright.
it was just, some people might be like, okay, this is a bit small bathing suit. What a grandfather
Sorry.
would say. Well, we hiding the picture for his grandfather.
But everything went cool.
Everything went cool.
That's
Nobody
good.
will,
That's awesome.
good.
because it was
Great.
something. It was something to improve her.
Yeah.
Something that is
If you can go through that, if you can deal with, you have issues in life, people passing away, whatever. That's an emotional strain. You have physical. What I say about competing, the one thing about competing is the only thing that requires mental and physical, emotional, 100% all the way through.
Yes.
Like when you play basketball, you play football, it's like, yes, it's extreme physical. After the game, you get to eat, do whatever you want, chill out, hang out. It's like, no. With doing this at a level to excel, you need 100% across the board, emotional,
24/7.
physical, and mental all the way through. If you can do that, you can do anything.
Yeah. It was a little tough for the ones surrounding her.
Yes.
The few weeks before the competition.
But that's the first
It was
time
a little
around. Yeah,
stressful
but
for her.
that's the
It was
first time
stressful
around.
for everybody.
Yeah.
We're like, everything starts to be okay. The hair, the makeup, the bathing suit. But Ryan was always there for her.
So was Shauna too? Yeah,
Yeah.
Shauna, you helped her with the posing and
she
the
was a little
suits.
nervous. I told Katrina, listen, if you weren't ready, Ryan will not
Yeah,
let you
with
do
you.
this.
Yeah.
You
No.
are, and you will be okay.
Yeah, speaking from experience, yes.
Yes.
You're not ready.
You're not
like-
ready. Goodbye.
You're like, you're not ready.
No, but she
Done.
was so determined. Like
Yes.
even in the posing, like the first hour I had with her, I was like, Ryan, come, like,
Yeah, come and
come
look.
and look at this. Like she was
It was good.
so determined. She's like, I really want to do well.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And she did great. And she's gonna keep doing better.
Katrina that's one of her traits and her personality. If she does something, she has to do it 100%. She doesn't do it 99. She
All the
has
way.
to all the way.
Good.
Perfect.
All right.
She's
Nice.
great.
Next question from Instagram. Heather Mallory, another Team SUF athlete. Another question for you. All right.
Look at that. You're famous.
Yeah. You're a mother of 3, busy professional. You seem to have a healthy social life. How do you balance it all? Do you feel that sometimes fitness has to take a back seat?
Not anymore. It did. Many years ago, I was like, I had a bad meal. Now let me turn it into a bad day, a
Yeah.
bad week, a bad year. 5 years later, oh my God. Not anymore.
My cheat year.
Not a bad day.
I want
It's
that.
turned into a bad year. Not anymore. I have learned after many, many years of trying this, from Weight Watchers to the cabbage diet to acupuncture. I did everything. But when I met Ryan, I decided that it was time for me to change. Time for me to make this a priority for myself and for the girls.
Yes.
Because I need to be around for my girls. I want to be around forever. It might not happen, not here yet, but I want to be around
As
for
long
them.
as you can.
As long as I can. And I don't want to be a burden to my children. I don't want my children to think, oh, I need to take mom to the doctor. I need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go to the house and take care of mom. I need to make sure that she eats right. I don't want that. I want to be able to help them
Yes.
with whatever they need as long as I can. So if I go out, which I do often, I have to be planned. You cannot call me today and say, oh, let's go out tonight. I'm like, don't have any macros. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's
A week in
good. That's
advance is
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
A week in
Yeah,
advance
there
is
you go.
good. So I plan my higher macros day on that day.
Ah.
Yeah.
So I go out for dinner, wine is there. I plan everything. I think if you don't plan to succeed,
She eyes up the wall.
you will fail
You-
Yeah.
yeah.
completely. You have to plan. And that's what I do. And every day it's just, and now I have learned that it can be a bad meal, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a bad
Bad
day.
day. Yep.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can be a bad day, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a bad week.
I understand some of
You
it.
just,
It is
just
so important. You
let
give
it
me
get back.
goosebumps.
You know, just
Yeah.
get back into it.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, that's good.
that okay, you ate it. What you gonna do?
I mean, even with the kids, I mean, I was in saying, and I would make them chicken nuggets, because it's easy. You pop them in the oven, and then I'd make myself a meal, You know, so it's a nice balance. You know,
With,
you
and
have
also,
to find a good
you
balance.
know, with this, it makes me more aware of everything, especially with the girls. It's okay. I used to do okay, let me just, like you say, let me give me the chicken nuggets and let me cook for myself. Now I just make a whole meal. It's here for everybody. Yeah. It tastes good. I know what I'm eating. I know what you're eating. It's good for you. And they don't have any problems. Otherwise, it's cereal and milk.
There you go.
Always.
Hashtag Fruity Pebbles.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, good.
It is a lifestyle, and you just have to do it. There's no way around it. If you don't do it, you're gonna regret it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to regret anything at this stage of my life. 53 years old, I'm not about to regret anything.
Good.
Very good.
Anything. Thank you.
53.
All right. Last question for Leroy
Oh.
from Anthony Sacco.
Oh, my man.
Okay. When you started competing, you started off strong, then actually started placing worse for a few shows. Recently, you achieved an all-time best. How are you able to bounce back and make improvements?
Oh, wow, nice.
Leroy.
Okay, well, I gotta fix one thing. I didn't start off strong, and
You did all right.
The first I looked good, but I never. If you talk about placing wise, I placed not last, but I placed in the low half.
Okay.
Of the group. But I was also happy about it because there was a lot more people, and then certain competitions or certain places that we went to, or I went to, or did, there wasn't that many people in there, and then I started getting a different place. But if you place third out of 4, that's still bad.
It depends on who's there.
But
if you have
yes.
3 studs there and you place, you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely correct. But some of the spots that I was in, I was like, I still want to look good, which I look great, but there was nobody around for me to outshine or compare myself to. It was like, these 2 guys and this guy was good, and I also needed to get myself my posing down because like everyone says, everyone's different. I have to find other ways, such as a toe point.
Oh, the Leroy toe point.
Not tough. Hashtag KJ.
He does when he does the ab
posing. Okay, all right, okay.
Points his toes up.
Okay.
It's the Leroy toe point.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, see, it
That's
worked
actually a
for me.
flex.
Yeah.
Toe flex.
That's why I didn't understand that.
But I mean,
But yeah. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
it's you started off. You did well. I think you were 7. And then you went down to second to last place.
Yes, I did. I mean, that's it, and it was second to last out of a good
Yeah,
amount.
14 people.
It was.
Shape?
What happened was he started to take things a little more serious, and the first time he was in one job, and then he did another job, and everything changed. And I remember a distinct conversation I had with him. I went up to him at World Gym. This was before they put the wall up. You're on the elliptical, and I said, Leroy, how are things going? He says, oh, they're going good. I mean, with the job, I don't get to train that often, and I don't get to eat. I'm eating bars. I don't drink my water, and I'm not sleeping that much. He named every variable needed to succeed. And he said, but I'm doing good. And I'm like, okay, so we're fucked. Okay?
Yes. He actually said that.
Yeah, I was like, all right, so we're fucked. And he didn't do that well. But in the past couple of years, we focused more on the legs. He's taken the posing more seriously. And, he did really well. He did well at OCB.
I did very well at OCB.
And you did really well at Monster Mash last year. Monster Mash was good,
Yeah,
man.
that was a good.
I would say OCB show last year and the Monster Mash this year were my favorite.
Monster
shows.
Mash was my favorite this year.
I had such a great...
I got to scream at you on stage and tell you being lazy.
But that's the same at every show.
Leroy was on stage. It was in that 2 spot, and then he started getting lazy with his front relaxed spread. So I said, they moved him out to the 4 spot, and I said, Leroy, that's what you get for being lazy.
He didn't say it like that. He said it a lot worse. That's what you get for being lazy, Leroy. You're right.
He got tightened up. And then he moved him back. He ended up taking second place. So Monster Mash is my favorite, personally.
You're not the only person who gets yelled at, Kenny.
Yes.
So I've been getting yelled at for years.
Yeah.
But yes, I like it, and I have taken it a different step and a little bit further, with it. And not only that, I was also building. I had to start up from the ground up, like we said, and he's built me up from the ground up. So I like the way that I've changed and everything over time. So it just feels great, looking at all the different pictures and the steps that I take.
Good. And hashtag Leroy Toe Point. Okay, so that concludes questions from the audience. Moving forward, if you have any questions, you can send it over directly to info@Sci-Unisonfitness.com. I'll post the the address, or when we post the panel photo on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you could post your photo, post your comments there, and ask your questions, and we'll try to get that in for the next questions from the audience segment. So now we are going to go to our intermission, and here are some words from our sponsors. Welcome back to Tough Table. All right, so we're going to go into main topic number 2 now, which is successful mindset training. Sometimes a successful health and fitness program is more challenging mentally than it is physically. All right, so we got to understand that there's always going to be hurdles and setbacks and stuff along that nature. We want to remember that we want to stay positive and stay really in tune with our goal sets and not let anything really get in our way. So it's very critical to train your mind as much as your body in order to, achieve success in fitness and health. But first, we want to hear from you. Do you think that human versus drone racing should be an Olympic sport?
The thing is, he don't get time.
And I don't care what Josh says, Josh did not beat the zeeblegic drum. Okay, so we are talking about successful mindset training. How to be successful on our programs. Where are we at? Who wants to start?
I think it's good to, when you start these types of goals, not focus on like hating yourself or hating where you're at, but rather I want to improve myself and just kind of be not so negative, and because then it's like kind of a daunting process if it's like I hate myself now. I have to like, obviously if you didn't like physical activity prior to this and now you're about to do what you don't like to do, I mean, I feel like you're kind of setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Also, some days you just don't want to do it.
Right.
A lot of people, when I'm working on the gym, ask me, well, how do you find the motivation?
How do you stay motivated?
And it's like sometimes, honestly, I'm not. I mean, the reason why I'm still doing it, even though I don't want to, is because of my motivation. But I'm not always like real excited to work out. Sometimes I really hate it. Sometimes I really don't want to do it.
Right.
But you just have to do it. So I think it's important to know that it's okay if you don't want to do it.
Right.
You just still have to do it because you're not going to regret doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually you come out of it feeling
Better.
a lot better.
Yes, you're never gonna do
show
that
up. Show
cardio
up.
and be like, "Damn, I wish I didn't do that cardio."
Yeah.
So that's important.
One of the main things for me is people got to keep in mind like the ideas of body recomposition. Like when they start these programs, sometimes the scale is all over the place. Like it's up, the weight on the scale is up, it's down, it's this, it's that.
Moving.
Yeah, it's all over the place. You got to keep in mind, like, a pound is a pound, yes. Like a pound of fat is not more than a pound of muscle. A pound weighs a pound, but muscle is denser and takes up less physical space. So it's possible for the scale to stay the same or to be going up, but you to be looking better. So these body recompositions is is a big thing. You have to mentally put that in your head. Like, you know, the scale is useful data. Yes, you need the scale. Because eventually things should level off and the scale should fall in line. But at first, sometimes it's all over the place. And you got to keep in mind that muscle is more dense than fat. So that scale can be going up because you can be gaining muscle and losing fat, but looking better. You know, so you got to keep
and
that.
how your clothes fit.
Yes.
While you're looking at that number on the scale.
Yes.
I mean, I think, what has it been, like a month and a half, almost 2 months, I've been like trying to come down, like get ready to start prep again, and I've lost maybe 2 pounds, if that, and like that's like could be so discouraging, but it's like I know I look different and I feel better, and it's like, okay, like it's going to come eventually.
Yeah. That's how you're able to, you know, to look better, measure better, but the scale is like a pain in the ass.
Right.
You know, so stuff like that. And again, muscle is more dense. It takes up more, you know, less space. It's more dense, and it demands more attention.
And it looks better.
Yes. Always,
Yes,
you know,
it
always.
Yes, it does.
But it also doesn't come overnight either.
Right.
You know, so consistency is that key. You
And
know.
patience.
Yes.
Right.
You have to be patient with this. You can't give yourself big goals, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
I have to lose 50 pounds, and you're like, oh.
You have to be realistic.
so
Yeah,
hard.
be
Yeah.
realistic. If you lose a little bit, even if you don't lose anyway, even the scales is something that you weren't expecting that day, I personally measure in how I feel.
Right.
How your clothes
How my
fit.
clothes feel,
Yeah.
how the amount of energy that I have.
The performance in the gym.
Yes.
What did I, how well I prepared this week all my meals, how did I get
Right.
out of bed a half an hour earlier and cook all my meals. And even if the scale doesn't say anything, my clothes fit better.
Yes.
I look better. I took a picture and I feel completely.
Yeah.
It's not always the scale.
Yes.
It is a measurement. Like
Yeah,
you say,
it's good data. You need it.
Yeah, you need it. You cannot just let's never use the scale either. But you don't have to base all your success on a number.
Yes.
You don't have to base all your success on that. You need to just be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
And another thing is too, like, people don't always view that weight or that weigh-in on that day in context. It's like they're like this. On this day, I weighed 0.7 pounds heavier, but I've been training my ass off. Why? They don't look at the context. First of all, everything with weight loss, weight gain, it's like the stock market. It's going to be up and down, up and down. Look for the trend. If you're trending down, ups and downs, ups and downs. But if you're still trending in the way you want to go, you're okay. Treat it like the stock market. There will be ups, there'll be peaks and valleys. Look at the trend. They don't look at context. When was that weight taken?
Right.
You know, there'll be some people who will weigh in on the morning empty stomach, and they're, you know, that's how it should be. And then like a couple days later, they weigh themselves at the end of the day, and they're like, oh, I'm up 6 pounds. It's like, you got food and water in you. Keep the weigh-ins consistent. Also, too, you know, I mark specific days. Like in my training, I mark the weigh-ins on a certain day.
Right.
Because if you're ready to get a carb or a fat spike, and there's gonna be all this food coming in, obviously the weight's gonna go up. So I don't want the weigh-in the day after that. I want the weigh-in that morning before you even load. And people will send a weigh-in a day late, and they're like, "Why am I up 2 pounds?" It's like, because you didn't weigh in on the right fucking day. Okay,
It's like you just had all those carbs, and all those carbs are holding all that
water,
water.
which is not a bad thing. It's not
Right.
like you're gaining fat, but it's pulling water in. That's why you're gonna get.
And that's an inconsistency.
Yes, read the chart, weigh in when you're supposed to. So again, they're not taking it into consideration in terms of context, and also too for females, be in tune with your body. If you're PMSing and you're about to have your period, that's anywhere from 1, 2, 3, 4 pounds of water.
Right.
So when you weigh in, you got to tell me that, or you got to look at this like, okay, I know what's happening to me, to my body right now. It's water. It's not body fat. I did not gain 2 pounds of fat overnight.
Right.
This is because something hormonally is happening. You got to view this in context. And some people will tell me they'll be negative with like their weigh-in, like they only lost 0.2 pounds, but then they also tell me that they're getting their period, they're having symptoms. I look at that as a positive. I'm like,
If you
you're
weigh
still
that,
down. Yes, you're still down 0.2
Right.
with all this other
Yeah.
shit happening. When that cycles out,
Right.
we'll be good. So I'm like, yes, great job. And you're like, what? And I'm like, look at this in terms of the big picture and context.
And be patient.
Yes, you have to be
Be
patient.
patient. You have to
There's
be
always
patient.
going to be peaks and valleys. There's always if you eat your food a little late at night. You got to tell me. You could be doing everything right, but you eat. It just happens.
And not only eating late, but then eating late and a lot of sodium on top of it. Or when did you finish all your water?
Yes.
And did you go to the bathroom? And there's all those other things.
Or I woke up 2 hours earlier today and was sent the weigh in.
Yeah,
Like
Sophie and I always say this. We're like, oh yeah, I woke up really, really early today.
Yeah.
Like not everything happened that should have happened before
as
the
long
weigh-in.
as long as your
Okay.
coach or you yourself can understand that there's a lot of variables that go into this. Like you have to mentally be healthy and understand these things.
You can't just be in a constant panic if
Yes.
it's not. If
And
you feel like
people-
it's not
God, some
perfect,
people are
because
just in
then
perpetual
also
panic mode.
cortisol starts playing into it
Yes.
too. And it's like if you're high strung, freaking out, and all that's building up, like you're stopped. You're at a wall. Like it's not. You need to relax. Do your job. Do what your chart says, and then everything.
Did you see that?
What just happens?
I took a sip and I took my lips off the straw too fast and it.
Were you in a panic?
Keep moving.
You saw it, right? You saw how it
It's
happened.
on my. She's like, I fell.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
It's just when you're in that constant state of panic and you're changing everything and just being
nuts.
sporadic,
Being
like
fucking
you're at a
nuts.
wall. There's no consistencies, like, and if you're changing too much, you don't know what is working for you
or
against you.
Yep.
Like,
But it's easier to say, don't
Right.
panic. So, I mean, I'll say that even I am guilty now of or at any point in time, feeling good, but then weighing myself and being
Then you have,
heavier
like,
than
a
I
bad
thought,
day.
and it ruins my day. And it's just like, why can't you focus on the fact that you felt good? Why are you putting so much on that number? It doesn't,
Right.
sometimes even knowing rationally that it's not that big of a deal, it doesn't mean
And
anything.
And you may go
can
down the
fall-
next way.
Exactly.
Also, nothing. For me, always was like it's better than what it was.
Right.
And it took me 10 years to gain overweight, and if it takes me another 10 years to be healthy,
Good point.
Right.
it'd be okay with me.
That's
It'll
the
be
thing.
completely okay.
Yes, people will spend 10, 20 years of their life neglecting their body. They will neglect it to the point where it's like you have to go to the doctor because something's failing.
Right.
And then it's like they want it to change overnight.
Yes.
Right.
You
Yeah.
neglected it for 10 years, 20, 30 years, but you want it to turn around in 3 weeks. It's like,
well,
ugh.
I mean, even with myself, it's like before like a year and a half ago, it was like I spent 3-4 years getting to where I was. And then after a year and a half, almost 2 year off season, now I'm like, well, I've been weighing my chicken for a month and a half. Like, why am I not down 10 pounds already? And it's like, okay, like I'm guilty of that too. You need to realize, okay, like you took
So
like,
patience. That's
you
real
took 18
hard.
months like off of being meticulous. Like that's not going to come back
Yeah.
overnight.
And you got to crack the metabolism open. Just because you start weighing stuff, it's like it may take a little time to like crack something open before you could actually start adding in more food.
Right.
And that's where she's at now. Where
And
it's
that's
like
different. That cracking metabolism is different for everyone, right?
Yes.
I mean, like
Yeah.
what's gonna crack hers is not what's
she's got to
gonna
go
crack
lower.
mine.
Yeah, she's
I
got
mean,
to go.
I don't mean like that. No, I mean it's just everyone's
Not I'm
everyone's different
crying.
with that.
Learn that our most hardest criticism is on us.
Right,
Yeah.
We are
yourself.
okay with other people. Like if you call me and say you're not gaining a pound, I'm like, are you okay? But you look wonderful.
Right.
Look at you. You just don't worry about it. But if I gain a pound, I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
we are so hard on ourselves, and this is one of the things that we need to learn when we're doing this. In any level, in competition, just losing weight, you being more healthy.
Right.
Just be patient.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like more time with the preps. When people come to me and I'm like, all right, so prep, 18 weeks, 20 weeks. They're like, because they're so used to the 14-week fucking balls to the wall. It's like, I'd rather have the time.
Yeah.
Because now in 14 weeks, if you're having a situation, you do it a 12 to 14 week prep and we got to lose a decent amount of weight, and you have something where you ate late at night, you had a little more sodium, you weigh in, you're heavier, or you didn't lose, but you're on the clock. It's like, shit, I had to do something.
Yeah.
But if we have more time, it's like, let's see what Thursday gives us.
Yeah.
Let's see what Saturday gives us. And then we're down a pound.
Right.
As opposed to if you're on the clock and you don't give yourself enough time, you have to make an adjustment. Now you made an adjustment premature that you didn't need, and now where are you?
Yeah.
You know, you could have been eating more, doing less cardio.
Yeah.
So it's always give yourself a little more time. I like having time.
I like having time too. From going from like, I know you've done the shorter time too, and it's like horrendous stress, and you're in a constant state of panic. And
when I say longer time, it's not like that whole like, wow, like how we are at 4 weeks out.
It's not like that.
It's not 20
It's
weeks
like a
out.
gradual
No, it's just
thing.
like, again, an increment.
There was still room
3
for
yards
cookies,
and a cloud of
Okay, there
dust.
we go.
Always gets a first down. North Bab football. Coach Manning, tough. Yeah, so you got to have, don't obsess. It's easier said than done not to obsess. But, you want to obsess on things that you can control, and as long as you're aware of what's going on, be aware of your body, be aware of what could be happening, okay? You don't want to just look at the scale and be, oh my God, I didn't lose. I'm so fat and something went wrong. It's like, all right, this is happening. There's PMS, or I ate late last night. I had more vegetables. I had more sodium. I drank more water. I didn't drink enough water. Like, you got to keep in mind what's going on.
You have to just be real with yourself and honest with yourself. I remember, I think after like the first like month, I was like, okay, well, I weighed in and I was up, and I was like, well, I know I haven't been drinking all my water. I've been eyeballing like 50% of my food, like still getting back into the swing of training. Like I could like make sure I do all my cardio, and I could up the intensity a little bit. And it's like, you just have to do your job. You're doing your job. You have to do ours.
And that actually reminds me of thinking of like, how do you go to the gym every day and do your workout? How do you get through your cardio? How do you do X, Y, Z? Making things a habit. And if you can't make something a habit if you skip a day, or if you don't do it this time, or don't fill up your water bottle, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you have to be consistent for a certain amount of time before that one thing can become a habit.
And you can take it one day at a time, a half
Absolutely.
a day at a time, like 1 hour at a time. Just don't get overwhelmed.
And learn.
Yeah.
If you make a learning experience out of this journey, you will come out a winner.
On top.
Yeah.
Just learn everything. This week I didn't lose weight, and then you go back and you say, well, I didn't drink all my water. So then you learn. Well, I didn't measure my food. I was eyeballing, and I went out a few times more. So then you just learn about everything, like with anything on life.
And if you're not on the clock and you're not competing, and it's just for your daily, you weigh it. You weigh the cost benefit. Like, all right. So going to this event, I'm probably gonna have to eyeball things, but it's something that's gonna make me very happy. I'm gonna enjoy it. I may not lose weight this week. I'm not competing. I'm not on the clock. It's worth it.
It was my birthday.
Yes, it was worth. You know what I'm saying? It's worth it. Some people, again, we're gonna take competition
so
out.
that's not obsessing.
Yes, we're gonna take competition out, because with competition, I like to play to win. But you have to weigh everything out. Like, all right, like, is this worth it? Yes, this is worth it. So I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to eat. I'm going to have a couple of drinks, and I'll try to make up for this on the tail end.
Yeah.
Something where it's like, all right, like, is this really worth it? Me sitting here eating this bag of chips, watching something that I'm not even really interested in just because I'm here, like,
Bored,
not worth it. Boredom, eating.
Canceling my gym appointment with Ryan.
Which you don't do. You don't do. So you got to weigh stuff like that.
You have to just be prepared and kind of plan ahead.
Yes.
Like, we knew we were going out to dinner, so we made sure we eat real light, lower on the fat, because when you're out to eat, it's usually the carbier, fattier things.
Yeah.
Even if you pick a salad or a high protein option, it still is just in there. So you just have to plan ahead, and then the next day, like, make sure you do all your cardio a little bit extra, and just...
It's a healthy balance.
But don't expect results.
Yes.
If you don't do those things that probably seem overwhelming at first.
Right.
Like the planning thing, like, then you can expect results, but you can't say, well, why isn't this working for me if you don't take the extra effort to
You can't let it also be the end of the world.
Yes.
Right.
You got to be fluid with it and be, all right. Another thing, too, is you need your sleep. There are plenty of people who do not sleep. And it's like, if you don't have that sleep and your body is not recovering and doing what it needs to do in that sleep process, you're going to weigh in heavier.
Yeah.
And it's your cortisol levels are going to stay high. Your stress level, you're
not recovering.
Yeah,
all the
you're
way.
not recovering. You're just spinning your wheels, and it just becomes a very bad
So in
process.
that case, sleep is almost just as important as working out and diet.
Yes,
Yeah.
sleep
Probably
is.
the easier place to neglect
Yeah.
things.
Like sleep with me too is rough because sometimes I'm up. You know, my sleep patterns are all over the place. I need to make sure I get my sleep in. Like sometimes it sounds crazy because I'm like, sometimes I have to take a nap or something like that. But it's like if I'm up to 3 o'clock in the morning editing Tough Table and then I got to go train her at 9:30, I don't get the most amount of sleep. I'll train her, come home, do a couple of charts, and then sleep. I need to try to get that sleep in because, or else you're just gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
You're gonna fall apart. So.
It's very easy not to take care of yourself and take care of everybody
Yes.
else.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very easy to neglect yourself.
Well, yeah, I had that problem. Yeah, I've
You
had
need to
that.
put yourself first
Right.
when it comes to taking care, to doing this.
Yeah.
To eating better, to
Yes.
make time to go to the gym, to make time to go to the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
And
And just get the right things in your house.
Yep.
And you have to just be like level-headed about life in general. Like you can't also become so obsessed with this fitness thing that now you're getting in trouble at work, you're late all the time, you're leaving early, you're just not performing at your best.
Your personal relationships, yeah.
personal relationships, like that all shouldn't be deteriorating because you're like, I need to just do everything fitness related or
Yeah.
have everything exact.
And when I did my first or second I can't fucking remember. My first or second show, I would not deviate from the diet, and that's just how I am. But there were plenty of times like where Javi, Leroy, Jay, John, all my close friends would go out, and I would go out with them. I wouldn't eat because I was on prep.
Yeah.
Like if it was off season, yes, I'd eat and I'd balance it and try to make smart decisions. But I wanted to do my best and I wanted to win. I still went out. I wasn't like the miserable person. Like, oh, I can't believe you're eating that. And, oh, my life sucks. I went out and it just was what it was. They're like, sometimes like with them, it's like John was a dickhead and would be like, look at my
Look
food.
at my chicken
You know, and then
finger.
other people would be like, yo, you all right with me eating this? I'm like, yo, I'm good. I just want to be here in your company and spend time with you. Like, that's what I want to be here for. So just because I can't eat and drink,
Right.
I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't go. Or I'm not going to go and be like, you guys, I can't believe it. And like,
Even at like the Super Bowl, we were at John's
Yeah.
and I brought my own food just because it was like I was really tired of not seeing a result. And I was like, you know what, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna bring my own food.
I was eating dip. And
Yeah, I made the
throw it in
dip.
her face?
I made the dip.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
so you knew how good
No,
it was.
so I went. I wasn't miserable. I ate my food. I was completely happy. It was fine.
amazing
And,
Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And John's girlfriend wanted to make cookies, and she's like, "Oh well, if you're not gonna eat them, like I won't make them. I don't want to make you miserable if you're dieting." I'm like, "No, make them. Like
Yeah.
you have, like the kids will enjoy them, right? And John and yourself will enjoy them.
Yeah.
Like you can't let your diet affect the other
Everyone
people
else.
around
Because then
you.
it's just, you're just toxic.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
You're just
And
toxic.
everyone's gonna hate you.
And
Yes.
it's like I know there's been
You're not
times,
invited.
especially
You're not coming to my birthday.
yeah, the first time around, it's easy to get like high strung and like freak out and need to be on point with everything, and you should be on point closer in. But there's no reason for you to be like a terror
Yeah.
over it and make
And
other
some people are
think
just
it's
like,
nasty.
they like want to be that terror and they want to be
It's
miserable.
almost like that cool.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's not cool to be that way. Like,
But they think it is.
you want to do what you want to do. You want to step on stage. We have the luxury of going to step on stage.
Yes.
Like, then stop being that way. Like,
Right.
I
You
get
also
it.
have the luxury
You chose
to
this.
pick and choose what you can and can't eat.
Yeah,
That's
like-
a luxury in itself.
Yeah, you know, like, we get it. You're doing something, but fine. You don't have to make other people miserable. Yes, once in a while, everyone's,
Moody,
Yeah, it has a
whatever.
breakdown, but like, to go out and be like, oh, I can't believe you. It's like, then stay home.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Because you
Stay
came
home.
out for the
Not
company. You came out to be
Yeah.
with your friends.
yes.
You went
That's
to be
why,
with
like,
friends.
I wanted to go and
Yeah.
hang out with John.
You didn't come
Yeah.
out for the food because
Yes.
you can have food anytime.
Anytime, yeah.
You can have food in your house. You can have food anytime.
Yeah.
You don't need.
And
a,
if I
you
had-
don't need a witness
Yeah,
to you
and
eating.
if I knew we'd be out late, I would have food in the car that I would go eat. So my needs were met. Like, yo, I'll be right back. Oh, we gonna get you eat your food in Tupperware.
Yes,
you know,
actually.
like John knows, like this. But I'd go eat my food. I'd feel better. I'd come back, and I'd still get to be with my friends. And it's at that stage, like, that's what I just wanted to do.
You wanna
You
be
know,
with
that
them.
kept me more mentally sane hanging out with them than fucking sitting home and being obsessive and raising my stress hormones and just being annoying.
Because
and
you
then
didn't get to be
emailing
with
your
your
coach
friends.
bullshit.
Well,
like,
that's
And because you didn't get to go out with your friends, you
not
had to
to
stay
say
home.
you. I'm just saying.
You looked at me like.
I thought you got the joke.
Oh, all right.
well, that's like, I mean, when I emailed you on New Year's, I was like,
I was trashed.
I was miserable.
Yo,
Just having fun.
Who's Andrew? Shauna?
I opted not to go out because I was like, I'm starving, I'm miserable, I don't want to see people. So I didn't go out. But then it's like, fast forward, like, we used to, like, everyone local, Fat Kid Fridays, we used to go out, and I would get out of work, train, eat something, go out. We'd stay out until, like, pretty late, and then
really just me trying to get Shauna.
yeah, I was like, I had a huge crush. I was like, I'm gonna go out and not eat anything, not drink anything, and I have macros for when I come home.
Yeah.
Get to see him, get a cookie later.
Nice.
Tough. She stole my paddle.
Sorry.
Stole my paddle.
we all agree.
All right, so it's good. It's good, right?
Yeah.
It's good. So you got to be in a nice, healthy mindset and really.
One little thing that is kind of off topic, but I meant to say it earlier with cardio. The way that I get through my cardio, and I think I told you this the other day, and you kind of made fun of me for it, was like, I'm the cake queen. Like, I love cake. I love to eat cake. But somehow what gets me through my cardio is the fact that I get to have my cold aminos
Oh, yes.
drink afterwards. I drink plain not warm, but like room temperature water all day long until after my cardio. I allow myself to, I put it in the refrigerator. I have my cold aminos, and but it works. It works.
Whatever works.
You know what I mean?
Not
So
tough.
that's something that I found that works for myself. It's not tough. I
Not
get
tough.
that. But if you can find things like that that help you, that you have
Like
your
simple
little one
rewards.
thing,
Yes.
exactly, simple rewards, and it's a routine for me. And I know that when I'm done, I can have that one thing, and that So if you can find those little things for yourself,
And it helps with your
helps
mental.
with your
Yes.
positive
Yeah.
mindset, helps with the mental, and so that's my one little thing.
And saying that with simple rewards, I remember many years ago, every time I lost 5 pounds, I was like, let's go out to eat. And I was so, now
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, what was
You
I
set
doing?
yourself back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
because I'm like, let's celebrate. Now I look for other things.
Yeah.
Like, I have an eye on that dress.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm only gonna
There you
get
go.
it.
That's
Yeah,
a
they have it in
very
different sizes,
reward.
but I have an eye on that dress in this particular
Clothes
size,
versus food.
and I'm gonna get it.
Yep.
So shopping always
That's
gets me
good. Yeah,
going.
that's good. I like that. I like that.
Things like that, or not. I don't reward myself with food any longer, and I don't relate to food as I used to be.
Right.
I used to be, because all this, it can be weight loss is about how you perceive things and how you prepare yourself mentally.
Right.
And for most of us, it was always, for me, it was, I need to eat because I'm sad, and I need to eat because I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm
And
a
you
total
come into my
emotional
house
eater.
and I need to
Me
eat
too.
because you're here.
Oh my God. But
And
once you recognize
after you left,
that,
I need to eat because you left.
Yeah.
Now, I look for other things to do. Let's go to the movies. Let's go for a run.
Yeah.
Let's do other things other than, if it's food related,
Right.
okay, it's fine. We're all hungry. We're all going to eat later.
Yeah.
But knowing your
But
triggers,
yeah.
what's gonna do that? Like sometimes when I know if I'm gonna feel like that, I'll just chew a piece of gum, because I know that if I go to try to eat that food after I've eaten the piece of gum, it's not gonna taste as good or something. So you can avoid doing that. But knowing your triggers, and replacing it with something else.
And that's what all this makes a learning experience. You're gonna learn what it triggers you. What, like you say, like if I'm very upset, I do not belong in a cookie
kitchen.
store.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do not belong in a bakery.
Right.
That's not a place that I need to be.
I belong
If I'm
on
stressed,
Amazon.
I need to be at the gym.
Yes.
There you go.
I need to go to the gym. That's
Yeah.
where I belong when I'm stressed. That's when whatever stress is for anyone, you just learn about what makes you, what triggers you, what makes you go. And both ways, bad and good.
And then I feel like this also can like segue into having hobbies that you enjoy to do that aren't fitness.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like it could kind of be bad or counterproductive to always have, I'm stressed out, I'm not going to eat because that's going to delay my fitness goals, but that doesn't mean you should go do extra cardio
Yeah.
for hours on end. It's
So
good
it's
to...
a good lifestyle balance.
Right.
Hobbies, stuff like that.
Get your
Go
nails
shopping.
done.
Go shopping on Amazon like I do. Go build crazy
Nail
things.
Get a massage.
Buy rhinestones.
Yeah. Do things like that.
Crafting
Alright.
with cat fur.
So good. All right. So not tough. Actually, not tough. Give me those. And now for our next segment, a new segment, we are going to go to a Thanos-approved segment called Coming Up Wyer.
You see, the show is supposed to be called Everything is Coming Up Wire. But the problem is that everything is not wire. As a matter of fact, it is the opposite of wire, and it sucks. And that is what I'm here to discuss. So in this installment, I will discuss how there are coaches in this industry that are not only archaic, but are essentially the new age version of snake oil salesmen, because they will promote to you, even though their website is back from 1995 and their clients look like freaking dookie, that they are the team to go with. I don't know why this is. I don't know how they can even promote it as such, because their clients are testaments to the fact that they do not know what they are doing. I do not know why people are giving them money. Who has suggested them to these people in order to get them on stage? It is craziness. To me, a person would do some research and actually see that this coach is garbage and perhaps look out for their own best interests and maybe try to find a coach that'll get them a win. Because at the end of the day, you are not supposed to go on stage to simply have fun. Maybe the first time, but not the second and thereon. If you're a competitor, you should go to compete and to win. So if a coach is not going to make you win, then why are you with them? I don't know. Do you? Hopefully next time, everything will come up wire. But judging by how things are, they won't.
As usual, anything that comes from Cody is tough. All right, so our next segment is going to be our second round of Tough Table Trivia. Okay, here we go. So question number 5. Okay, continuing from before. What year did NutriBio launch its first version of Thermofuel? A, 2001, B, 2005, C, 1992, wow, and Leroy's a cheater, and D, 1998. First year NutriBio, first version of Thermofuel. What do we got here? I gotta get community camera. Are we ready? Write them nice and big. Here we go. Marianela, we ready? Boom. We have D, A, B for Leroy, and D for Shauna. The answer is D. Who had D?
I got D.
Okay, so D. Okay, so 1998, so that is Shauna. And Marianela?
I did, yes.
Okay. Next question. All right.
I'm losing
I'm
horribly.
Sophie.
Well, you had a good run.
Yeah, you had a good run,
I
but
did.
it's over.
I know, but that's
You'll be back.
don't do that.
Okay, here we go. Question number 6. At maximum effort and activity levels, what rate does fat turn to muscle? Okay. At maximum effort and activity levels, what rate does fat turn to muscle? A, 1 pound a week. B, 1 pound a month. C, fat doesn't turn to muscle. Or D, 1 ounce per week. Are we ready? And boom, C. C for Sophie. C. Oh, look at all the educated people. Yes, everyone gets a point there. Yes.
Wow.
Fat does not turn to muscle, and muscle does not turn to
People
fat.
say that.
Oh, me too. Trust me.
I'm like,
I could turn
that's
fat to muscle.
not
Everybody gets a point. Okay. Number 7. Oh, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I like DCU.
Oh, ooh, we gotta edit that out. Ooh.
I like Aquaman. He's great.
In the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, who is Tony Stark's official bodyguard? A, Steve Rogers. B, Happy Hogan. C, Nick Fury. Or D, Bruce Banner? MCU, Tony Stark's official bodyguard. Steve Rogers, Happy Hogan, Nick Fury, Bruce Banner. And here we go. Marianela, what do we got? We have D, Bruce Banner. What do we got? A, with the shrug. Oh, look at that face. We have
Like Vanna.
B. Okay.
Don't kill
And
me.
we have C, and the only person who gets that is Leroy. Happy Hogan. Leroy. Okay.
And I like Aquaman.
And here's the last question. Here we go. Number 8. Oh, it's a carb question. Which of the following choices? I gotta make sure I have the right answer.
Don't worry, we're not looking.
Okay. Which of the following choices has the most amount of total carbs? A, a serving of cream of rice. B, a serving of oatmeal. C, a Snickers bar. Or D, an English muffin. Most amount of carbs. Cream of rice, oatmeal, Snickers bar, English muffin. And here we go, and boom. Marianela says D. We have C for Sophie. We have B for Leroy. And we have A for Shauna. And the answer is A, a serving of cream of rice. All right, so we do up.
Serving.
36.
Yeah, she's like
What?
Oh, man. When,
Tell me what I am.
when the question was asked and you went like this, I was like, she's
No,
already
but I mean, like,
got it.
how, like, what do you consider to be a serving of
with
these?
the,
Like,
Whatever's
on
on
the
the-
box.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, so we have Leroy at 4 points, Sophie at 2.
Damn
Oof.
it. Did you have
Just
to tell people that?
defeated. You got a big X. Sophie
Can we like just
is
put that on the community camera?
not
Like,
tough.
giant X that he just put on there.
Marianela answered
on the
4
community
points,
camera.
and the winner, okay, the winner, and this was not rigged, all you motherfuckers out there.
We are doing
Well
we
deserved.
want a recount.
Well
Can we
deserved.
get a
No
recount?
recounts.
We need a recount.
The winner
Check the footage.
of the
Let's go
winner
to the
Good
tape.
job, Shauna.
of the Pre from NutriBio watermelon, which I will also be using because we share this.
Oh, I was gonna give it away to somebody else, but if you
Oh,
want,
yeah, I
okay,
need-
you can-
I need
you can-
some more.
It's okay, I can take
Don't
it.
give this
Thank you.
away, and the winner
I didn't.
of a
That's what I was gonna keep.
Tough Table T-shirt is
Nice.
Shauna. Okay,
Well,
There
me and
you go.
Shauna are really
Thanks.
good friends.
wrap it up.
Yes.
Tough Table Trivia in the books. Thank you as always to NutriBio. Okay, so that was good. That was good, right? All right, so
Oh man, that was good.
moving on, we are going to go to another one of our new segments. All right, this is an acupuncture segment. This is brought to you by, not brought to us. Well, I guess
Brought to
us
everyone,
too.
yeah.
Brought to everyone
Brought to-
by
There you go.
Amanda. Okay, and the name of this new segment for Tough Table is acupuncture. There's a point to that, so here we go.
Acupuncture. There's a point for that. There are thousands of points for that. I'm Amanda Acapinti, and I want to talk about how acupuncture points can help a variety of different conditions. But it's really actually not about what acupuncture treats, but how you as the patient want to be treated. Do you want natural, drugless, holistic care? If you do, then acupuncture might be for you. If you want to figure out what the root of your branch or the cause of your symptom is, acupuncture might be for you. That's the goal of the treatment. You come in and we figure out what the root cause of your branch symptom is. If we just continually treat the branch, the branch might get better, but it's going to come back. That may be why that lower back pain that you're experiencing goes away for a little while, but then returns, and sometimes returns with a vengeance, because you need to figure out what the root is. Is it because you don't go to the bathroom every day? Is it because you have digestive issues? Is it because you don't sleep? In Japanese style acupuncture, which is the style in which I focus in, we check for very specific reflexes that will give us the information, guiding us in creating your own story as to what your root is. Because if we fix the root, the branch can get better. I'm Amanda Acapinti, and remember, acupuncture, there's a point for that.
And thank you, Amanda. So that basically concludes Tough Table number 7. I want to take a moment to thank Initium Eyewear for always providing the best, the absolute best in eyewear. And we got another guest here wearing as well. Revelations and the Civil War police lenses. I also want to thank NutriBio for providing great supplements for our giveaways and our trivia stuff. Vinyl You Up for, again, always the paddles, the cups, the graphics, the t-shirts, everything. So Vinyl You Up, thank you. I want you guys to like and subscribe to this video. If you find any of this information useful, share it to your friends, email them, tag them, do whatever you got to do. Let's, spread the word with this. And also visit www.suftoughTable.com. You'll get information on all our segments, the cast and crew, and also all the previous episodes. So in closing, what do we got? Anything here? What do we got? We're wrapping it up.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for having me here. This has been amazing. And just remember, when it comes to all this, weight loss, succeeding, and anything, the only person that can stop you is you. No one else can.
Oh,
Just do it.
tough.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hashtag Leroy.
Oh.
Oh man, not
You just got swamped.
Let's say goodbye. Wait, we got to say goodbye to Sammy.
Good
job,
Bye,
Sam.
Great
Sam.
job. Nice. Okay.
You did it.
Pound
good.
sign.
And, we're off. So until next time, I don't know. We're off to go eat. Good job. Good job. And good job.
Thank you.
That's funny.